morning, my AKAPADers. Welcome to Sunday Fun Day. Welcome back to another gloomy Philadelphia. I've been up for like an hour. When I first woke up, all of this, you couldn't even see any other building. But we're here in Center City, Philadelphia. Peter A. DeLuca here, AKAPAD69, on some social media networks, but forever known throughout the multiverse as the eclectic one. Because we are eclectic here, right? I mean, we connect a lot of dots. And we're connecting this dot right here. Guardians of the Galaxy, first appearance. Marvel superheroes anthology series. People forget the purpose of some of these titles. I mean, I guess by today's standards, titles of this nature, not Guardians of the Galaxy, but the Marvel superheroes, these were anthology based. Now, it doesn't mean that like there would be like a run of a character. Definitely were. I mean, like technically, like Thor came out of a Journey into Mystery, and that became a run of a character, and eventually they renumbered Journey into Mystery into Thor. You guys know what I'm talking about. But concepts like this, the creation and the distribution of Guardians of the Galaxy in this phase, is a mystery to so many of you. And that leads me to a bigger point. Don't worry, we're going to hit that drawing table where I'm going to show you guys every inch of this book. Because, I mean, come on, it's beautiful and it's beat up. These are the conditions that we love our books to be in. Because we want to read our books. We don't want to slab our books. We don't want to smother our books with a barcode encasing it in some horrific hibernation chamber. No, our books here on this channel, these books are meant to be read and loved. But the bigger point to this is, I want to kind of say, this issue and the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon, next episode by the way, the two most significant first appearances of the modern age. Now you might say, Pete, what about Venom, Deadpool, Harley Quinn? Those books are in the hundreds, easily 500 plus for each of those books I just named, in a high grade by the way. But those books deserve to be where they are. Harley Quinn, time in the comics. Deadpool, time in the comics. Venom, time in the comics. You guys see what I'm saying? It took 20 years for those characters to build up and people to like them and people to love them, with a little bit of help from Hot Topics merchandise. But something like this, and like the first appearance of Rocket, the first appearance of Killmonger, think about it. Those books, everything I just named, didn't lace in comics for more than 2 years before this first movie dropped. Think about that. And now this is a seminal first appearance because Hollywood chose Guardians of the Galaxy, not the comic book readership. Let's hit that table. There we go, AKAPADers. I just have to say, I love presenting these books to all of you. I think it's important. I think when we have topical things running through all the media, everyone's talking about James Gunn. It seems like in the next 10 years of geek story, geek hype, geek excitement, James Gunn's gonna be a part of it, people, like it or not. I'm not saying I like it. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, getting right middle of the ground reviews. A lot of people that don't like GOTG Volume 3 seem to have an issue with animal cruelty. Well, with that being said, here it is. 25 cents. Marvel Superheroes. I mean, beautifully broken, beat up copy. Didn't pay a lot for this, which is, that's what I like. Mint condition. Yeah, I mean, mint condition or like a high grade 9. Not that I like the slab system. Where we're talking about $300, maybe $400. Guardians of the Galaxy. So here it is. This is the setup. Our first introduced character for Guardians of the Galaxy isn't Rocket, isn't Groot, it's Charlie 27. And Charlie 27 looks the way he does because he was born and raised on Jupiter, and he's got a different body type because of Jupiter's gravity. Well, Charlie's returning to Jupiter, and guess what happens? Guess what happens, folks? Charlie is all by himself. And we got some fantastic illustration here by Gene Colan. Understand who Gene Colan is. Gene Colan is your old school, like, side pencil scraping artist. And he had the speed. He had a fantastic speed. He understood action. He understood effects. I always feel like Gene Colan, what he left to the inker was feathering and effects. And really, like, no one at this time had this level of energy. Now, here's the other funny thing. Charlie 27 is all by himself. But here's the other funny thing. When it comes to the layouts of this very comic, it's important to note how we're reading some of the paneling, because this is innovative, this is imaginative, this is challenging, and it's also tough for the writer. Since we're not working in a panel grid, we get word balloons like this. We get cramped. I'll show you another good example of it. See, we get like very tight spaces for word balloons that don't exactly quite fit. Look at this caption here. You guys see what I'm saying? You get it, kid? Getting back to the story, Charlie 27 is all by himself. Charlie 27 encounters a race of lizards that have taken over his homeworld, and he fights it. He actually pushes them into this Keep Jupiter Clean UZI Incendi drop. He incinerates some of them, fights through them, attempts to transport himself. Right here, living matter transmitter. So he transmits himself across the universe, and basically ends up, right? I think he ends up in Pluto. He's hungry. He's going to get some snacks. But then here in Pluto, we're introduced to Matrix. Well, he's not Matrix, right? It's Crystal Man. So when he runs into our next Guardians of the Galaxy character, it's a little, we have a little bit of a race war here, race comments. You mean Rockhead, Crystal Man Pluvarian. The Crystal Man, look guys, I'm just trying to keep up with some of this. They're being hunted by Saturn dogs with wings, by lizard people. Charlie 27 runs into... So Crystal Dude has a microchip in his head. He's able to call for help. People, I'm not making this up. Just note the flow of the panels. It's an S shape. Now, here's the other funny thing. When it comes to this type of paneling, we also have some mannequins that come to life to help rescue the crystal guy, Charlie 27. Mannequin robots come to life, beat up the reptiles. We have the revelation, Matronex. Matronex is his name. But again, the paneling, Neil Adams will get all the credit for his innovative comic book paneling. Some of his comic book paneling are single page gimmicks. You will often see one of his X-Men panels as a part of this gimmick. People never bring in Gene Colan when it comes to his paneling, because I do feel like it makes the book fun and readable. So we have Crystal Nax, Charlie 27 transport themselves, and then we cut to Yondu, Vance, Astro. Now, the leader of these reptile aliens that seem to have conquered the universe by this point, because again, we're in the year 31K. They're like, look, Vance, we know who you are. Let's hook you up to this memory device. And he's got no nose and no mouth. Let's hook you up to his memory device and have some fun. So they hook him up, and we get this flashback of a astronaut stuffed into a casket full of ice. They freeze him right before he freezes, though, because he's going on a long trip. We know this story. He gets a call from the love of his life that's like, hey, I didn't want to upset you, but I'm calling you to upset you. And he's like, babe, don't worry about it. They shoot him off. He wakes up. He lands. He's expecting to be alone. He's saying, I cannot take off my suit. The suit that makes me really look like a gimp. I can't take off my gimp suit because it's going to force me to age. When he lands, everyone's there. And he's like, what is this? And we have this one dude with a little cape saying Harkonian physics. Blah, 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 blah. Comic book science. Here we learn that the reptile aliens are like, look, we like you. You have an uncorrupt mind. You have like a 400 generation uncorrupted mind. Vance is like, oh, like, do you want to use it? Do you want to team up? And he's like, yeah, look, we're not putting chips. You don't have a chip in you to make you a human slave. So people, this is like very Planet of the Apes also, by the way. But no, and then we get a fight. He basically tricks the alien warlord reptilian leader of this sector of the universe. He tricks him to fighting Yondu. And when Yondu, he shoots an arrow at Yondu. When he shoots an arrow at Yondu, here we go. Yondu uses a whistle to control the arrow. This is the only thing that ends up in the movie, people. But Yondu's arrow, they escape. They become friends during the escape. During the extended escape, they run into Crystalax, Charlie 27, and they just beat up some reptilian aliens. Now, this is kind of cool because Vance Astro is basically like a Captain America. He's just beating things up. They use Charlie 27 very much like the Hulk. We do have a fastball special right here, people. And then Crystal Mix, Matrix Lax, the Crystal guy, we get some use of how he uses his ability to control light and harness light and seed light in a particular fashion to blow up weapons. So everyone uses their powers in a particular way. And like I said, Charlie 27, rocking and rolling like Incredible Hulk. We have a future adventure declaration, which is we will overcome Earth being overthrown by reptilian aliens in the year 31,000. Great exit caption here. It does get you excited. It says the end for now. And that's it, people. Guardians of the Galaxy mailbag right here. Not the adventure I was expecting, I have to say. Never really read it. I was happy to get into it. But the rest of this edition, Marvel Superheroes Presents 19, what year is it? 1968. When we go through this, we see the reprints of the 40s. We see All Winners. We see Elias Submariner. And this was great. For 25 cents back in the day, you got something new. And then you got like a real slice of Marvel history. And as the years went on, these stories and these characters, for example, like Miss America faded. Now Human Torch lived on. Miss America faded. Namor lived on. We do get like a run of characters that just faded away. But Marvel at one point was accessing their entire printed catalog to keep people in the mix, to keep them in the know, to keep them excited. And I just wish something like that was done today. It's really not. There is such a paywall to gain this level of insight, this level of knowledge, to even a paywall to experience something like this. And I don't particularly like it. I think for something like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out, I just feel like Marvel should just reprint this and give it out for free. I really do. Like, anyone that goes into Disney World should get this handed to them when they pay for their ticket. Rock and roll, people. And we're back. Welcome back. AKA Patters, the eclectic one here. Peter A. DeLuca. Alright. As teased previously, here it is. The next Guardians of the Galaxy drop. I am so proud to bring this to you because, again, this is the idea. Anthology series, Marvel Premiere. Look, Marvel Premiere Satana. That shows you how big Satanism was in the 70s for it to get the title, everything. But no, people. We're living in an age where we expect every single property, every single idea to hit the ground running and to be huge as soon as it hits our eyeballs, as soon as it ventures into our gray matter. We're expecting everything to be big and awesome, and we forget the long-standing run that a lot of these characters have. It is a true trial by fire, and it's significant when we honor it because that standard does not exist today. And you can argue, you can be like, Pete, what about this? What about that? No. Marvel Comics and even DC at the time made a concerted effort to have anthology-driven series to build up new talent and test new ideas. None of that exists in today's marketplace. AKA Padders, till next time.